Anime Cafe Podcast, Episode 3.
Nii-chan, how do you like your coffee?
I like my coffee how I like my anime. Bible Black. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Anime Cafe Podcast, Episode 3. My name is Anton Mantuan Addison. Antoine taking a Scantron with his fly-ass pants on. Madison. And joining me here today is my friend Chelsea, also known as C2 Cosplay. Say hello, Chelsea.
Hello.
Alrighty.
I just waved. I don't know why I waved.
Hey, wave at the people.
Hi.
One day I'll have video stuff set up, but today's not that day.
Well, thank God it's not right now.
No, trust me, I look terrible. I woke up this morning with like the worst hangover of my life.
Oh,
And
no.
I went and I took a shower and I just slicked my hair back because I'm like, screw it. And then I just fell back asleep in bed because I had stuff to do. And then I woke up and I had the most killer part in my hair ever. Like I generally
Was it right down the middle?
It was right down the middle. I looked like Marco from Attack on Titan. It was
Oh,
ridiculous. I was just
no.
like, oh yeah, cut me in half, please. My mom saw me and she's like, what's wrong with your hair? I'm like, don't talk to me right now. I just want to live my life and drink water. Oh gosh, no. But I have a special episode for everybody that's listening. We're going to be doing an interview, actually, with my good friend Chelsea here that I met back. Yeah, I met you back at Otakon. Well, we hardly really met. It was more like...
Kind of.
Yeah.
I was in a really embarrassing cosplay.
Yeah, you were cosplaying from Evangelion, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Kensuke.
Yeah, you were Kensuke. That was when other Chelsea was dressed up as my homeboy Kaworu.
Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh, yeah. And then we started talking afterwards, and we have been friends ever since.
Yeah.
Yeah, internet friends for life. Cosplay is thicker than blood, I think. I don't know. Hot glue is thicker than blood. I think that's probably...
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Don't even talk about hot glue. I hate it.
So I told people a little bit about what I've been up to, which is drinking excessively and just, living life to the fullest as an ace attorney and a college student. But you actually were up to something very exciting and fun yesterday, if you want to go into that a little bit.
My friends and I went to Hallow Scream at Busch Gardens in Williamsburg.
Ooh.
And it was pretty fun. Basically, it's just Busch Gardens is just a theme park, and it's got like it's like a European theme, so it's got different countries like Italy and Germany and France and Ireland, stuff like that. And at each part, they had a different theme.
Mm-hmm.
And so like Italy had pirates, and they had their haunted house thing was like a little lame because every pirate just tried to scare you going arr. And it just got so old.
I be spooky.
Yeah.
You be fearing me.
I just wish they had come up with something a little different.
See, we have something similar to that here in the Midwest at Cedar Point. We have Halloween weekends or whatever, but Cedar Point doesn't have like the whole country theme.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I heard something about like Busch Gardens having to pull back a little bit on how spooky it is because people were complaining as of late.
I guess there were some complaints about a particular article published in, I don't know which newspaper it was, but they had a photograph of like a pile of severed heads, which I can completely understand is a sensitive issue for some people considering, recent events.
Yeah.
I don't really think that they should have made Busch Gardens take this stuff down.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
They should have just not published that picture on the cover of a newspaper.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that the people who were complaining probably wouldn't have been the ones going to the park. You know what I mean?
Yeah, at that point you're already so offended that you're not going to go anyways.
Yeah, it wasn't representative of anything that happened recently, which, I can understand like sensitivity.
Mm-hmm.
About it. Like, it's just, it didn't mean anything, it's just general spooky props.
Yeah, they were just trying to spook people out. So are there like roller coasters and stuff like that at Busch Gardens?
Yeah. There are, let me think. There's the Loch Ness Monster in England. Well, I guess England/Scotland.
Mm-hmm.
And there is Alpengeist in France. And that's like, It's supposed to be like the abominable snowman, like Yeti type creature kind of
Hmm.
thing. Like everything's based on a like a monster, I guess.
Okay, so there's like a
Um,
common theme between everything.
yeah. They used to have in Germany the big bad wolf,
Hmm.
and that was terrifying roller coaster because like the carts would get really close to like trees and buildings and
Oh
stuff, and you felt like
no.
you were crashing them, and then they would turn unexpectedly. But now they have Verbolten,
Hmm. Oh, I
and
heard about
Verbolten's
that.
really cool. Yeah, it's like you get in these cars and you zoom around real fast,
Hmm.
and um, you go through this tunnel, and the tunnel has different themes. Like you can get like a number of different things. Like my favorite is the wolves. Like wolves start howling, and you see their eyes like flashing in the darkness and stuff.
Hmm.
And um, there's one that's like a storm with a bunch of thunder and everything, and like a forest spirit. Um, but yeah, like your car comes to a stop, and like everything gets louder and louder, and then all of a sudden it stops, and your car just drops out from beneath you,
Hmm.
and you drop down to another track, and it's really scary if you haven't ridden it before. Like it's my favorite part, but if you haven't ridden it, like I did not know what to expect when that happened. I thought I was gonna die.
Oh no.
Yeah,
That sounds actually horrifying. I would probably lose it on one of those things. I'm
it's a
like
lot of fun.
deathly afraid of heights and everything like that. So whenever I go
Oh,
to Cedar Point, like I have to work myself up to get on any roller coasters because I get off to like the scary part of it and everything, but it
mm,
takes so much for me to even just get on one. Like the first time I rode the dragster, I just about like had a heart attack just watching people get shot off at like what is it, 70 miles an hour. I'm like, I can't do this. You can't
oh
make me do
no,
it. I think I was 13. That was the first time I rode a roller coaster, and I was just like, you can't make me do this. My voice is cracking, and I can't do this right now.
they're so much fun.
Yeah, they really are. Like, I enjoy them a lot more now. They still scare the living daylights out of me, but
Hmm.
I don't know. So, you
I'm
guys went on a bunch of roller coasters yesterday, I take it?
Yeah, and one of my favorites, aside from Bolton, is the Griffin,
Mm hmm.
which has a really steep drop,
Mm hmm.
and it's like a 90-degree angle, and they just hang you over the edge for a couple seconds before dropping you, and it's amazing.
Oh, God. That
And
sounds scary.
no, it's great.
Oh, no.
It's really similar to Apollo's Chariot, if you've ever heard of that.
I
That
have.
used to have a really high drop, but this one's higher now.
Ooh.
Um, yeah, like I love roller coasters, but I get really motion sick.
Mm.
So I gotta kind of choose my battles.
Yeah, it's like a total struggle. Do they have like themed
Mm.
foods at the park that have to correspond with like the countries and everything that you're within?
There were some little shops that had like in France there was Demon Street,
Hmm.
which by the way, um, they had this giant flaming skull, and on top of the skull was like I guess he was supposed to be the devil or just like this demon with wings and stuff,
Hmm.
and he had this awful uh like spandex suit on, and it was like airbrushed to look like abs and stuff, and he was dancing, and he had like leather gear on, and of course everyone was like going nuts over him. But yeah, um yeah, on Demon Street they had like themed demon drinks, I
Hmm.
guess, and outside of this big cafeteria type thing like called a Fest House in Germany,
Hmm.
um they had like vampire themed things, so they had like a bloody sangria and stuff like that.
Ooh. You can get boozed here and you can get
So
spooked
it was
here.
mostly alcoholic things.
Yeah. See, this speaks
Where
to
you
me on a
pay
deeper
$5
level.
for a weak ass Jello shot.
Yeah, it's like, let me drop $5 on this drink that won't even get me partially tipsy.
Mm-mm.
No, mm, no, thank you. That's like when I was at FAP weekend, not this weekend, but the weekend before. I hate
That
having to
name.
say that. I know the name is like terrible, but we went out to this random bar in Ohio, and me and my friend Josh, we were hanging out at the bar, and like everybody thought that we were famous or something because we were wearing the Attack on Titan jacket and my Sosuke jacket, and they were like, "Should we get pictures with you guys?" Oh, da, 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 da. But we're sitting down at the bar and we're ordering drinks, and I look at my tab, and each shot of Jose Cuervo costed $9, and I was just like, "What kind
Oh
of
no.
bullshit is this?" Nobody warned me.
No.
I was just like, "What the
This is
hell?"
why I bring my own stuff.
Yeah, see, like we had our own stuff, but we wanted to go out. I don't know why.
Hmm.
We were already drunk at this point. I don't know why I needed to go get more drinks, but we just wanted to go to a bar. I don't even know, but it was just, I hate it. I hate going to places like that because they know that they can get you.
Yeah, for sure.
It's the worst. I don't know.
Or like restaurants that don't put the prices next to the drinks on the
Yeah.
menu.
We had that happen once. We went to there's like this little pub type place out here in Ann Arbor, and we went there, and Josh was drinking something called an El Diablo, and he ordered like
Hmm.
5 of them, and then he bought 2 for his girlfriend. I don't think they were dating at that point yet. I don't know. Doesn't matter. But he ordered like 5 for himself and 2 or 3 for her, and then it came back to be that like each one of them was $11 or $12, and he was so upset
I would have. Oh my god.
because I ordered like this big flaming bowl fruit drink thing that costed like $28, and I knew up front that it was $28, so I was like, whatever, I'm cool with buying this thing and sharing it. But
Mm,
I would have not been cool with ordering the El Diablo and then finding out that I'm spending almost $11 per drink.
that's ridiculous. I would have like just cried forever.
Yeah, no, it's drinking is an expensive habit. Kids, don't do that. Don't
Yeah,
grow
please
up.
don't.
Yeah, don't grow up and drink, and don't drink right now. It's not worth it. Drink your
Or do.
feelings away about, yeah, or do. You know what? I have so many feelings about anime sometimes that I just need to drink. It's a problem. Same thing with
Drink them
video
away.
games. Yeah, like video games make me feel like I have cried over World of Warcraft. I've just been like, I love this game, or I've cried because I'm so angry.
I've cried over a while.
Yeah,
I've done it.
yeah. I don't know. For
I don't remember over what, but I've done it.
Yeah, no, I remember crying once in a raid because I was so upset because I was so mad that we were losing, and then we finally won, and I just cried out of relief. And then I cried over the plot itself, but like a lot of times I have cried over just raiding. I'm like, please kill me. Oh no, it's the worst. I don't. One anime that will. My friend one time, we were watching Berserk, and he cried over Berserk, and I'm like, why? What? What is
Why
making?
wouldn't you cry over Berserk?
There's nothing to cry over, Berserk. Griffith. Griffith is a dirty
It's
boy.
an emotional anime
It
slash manga
is not.
slash movies.
Yeah, movie slash manga slash anime slash light novel slash everything.
Game at one point.
Yeah, it was a game at one. I forgot about that completely.
It wasn't
Actually,
just called Guts.
yeah, I think it was just called Guts. Oh man, I forgot that even existed. That was how like low on the radar it was for me. I was just like, whatever, man. I love Berserk, but this game, no, thank you.
Yeah.
Weren't you gonna cosplay Griffith?
Yeah. At
Yeah.
hopefully Katsucon 2015.
Oh.
I want to be Griffith. Taylor wants to be Guts, and we have somehow convinced Chelsea to cosplay Casca.
I was about to ask, is she going
And
as
she
Casca?
doesn't know anything about Berserk other than the fact that it's just full of awful things.
Uh-huh. Does
And
she know what
so-
happens to Casca?
Yeah.
Okay, I was about to say.
And she didn't when she first agreed.
Um,
And then she found out and she was like, wow, I kind of hate this, but I'll do it because I love you guys. And this is why we're friends.
this is why we're friends. To be
Yeah,
put
and
through
we're gonna
cosplays.
wear BFF shirts.
Oh, this is gonna be adorable.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's actually gonna be hilarious. I can't wait to see that. But see,
It'll probably be like our drinking outfits.
oh no, yeah, those are good drinking outfits. That's like what my Attack on Titan jacket and my Sosuke jacket have turned into. It's just like I just
Mhm.
put them on and I'm like, let's go get really drunk.
Yeah.
But see, perfect segue. We can start our interview here since
All
we're talking.
right.
Yeah, see, it's seamless. It's so seamless that nobody would even notice if I didn't say anything.
Not at all.
So let's start this off with the most basic ass question in the world that everybody always gets asked when about stuff like this. It's not to do with your age. It's not your name. It's how long you've been doing what you're doing. So when did you start cosplaying? Like, give me a rough estimate.
I first cosplayed. I mean, I've been dressing up forever. I love dressing up, but I first cosplayed at a convention
Mm-hmm.
at Anime Mid-Atlantic in 2011.
Okay.
Yeah, 2011. And I was Luna Lovegood.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy. Crushing it as Luna Lovegood.
And I was also, oh my God, what's her name?
What's she from?
The police woman from Darker Than Black, whose name I can't remember at the moment.
Oh, God,
Starts with a K, doesn't it?
yeah, I should know this too. I just watched that show again last summer. I can't think of it right now. Not important.
Well, yeah, I cosplayed her and I use my real hair and it's terrible and I never want to see pictures of that again. But but no one needs to know that
Nobody
except for
needs.
everyone who listens to this.
Yeah, nobody needs to know except for the people that might know or find out now.
Yes. I swear I'm better now, you guys. Please love me.
Yeah, no, I see everybody's first cosplay is like super embarrassing. Even the most like popular cosplayers, you see their first cosplay and it's just like, what were you doing?
Hmm.
What were you thinking? And then you remember, oh yeah, not everybody's perfect at these things. It is a hobby. It is a
Except for those like two people who somehow bust out an armor cosplay for their first one ever and it looks amazing.
I couldn't
And
even imagine trying to do like an armor cosplay. I was so proud of
yeah,
myself when I cosplayed like David Tennant, and that was like my first real cosplay. And I was just like, yeah, genetics, man.
you look
Those
great
are
as
cool.
him, yeah.
Yeah, I was just like, I look like this character, cool. And then I look at armor cosplays, I'm like, I'd love to do that, but I don't know what I'm doing. And then I run into the issue of I don't know colors, so it's like
I'm sorry.
cosplaying is like one of the biggest struggles in the world for me. It's just like how difficult can we make your hobby? Pretty difficult, man. It's already hard
Oh
enough to
man,
play
what
games.
if you made like two armor pieces that you thought were the same color
I would. That's the
and they
problem.
were just like two drastically different shades of gold?
I mean, that
And
would
then
happen.
yeah,
It would. I
I'm
can
sorry.
guarantee you if I
I'll have to be your
tried.
color coordinator.
Yeah, no, see, like, that's why I always have somebody. I can't even go clothes shopping by myself. I have to take people with me or ask the people there and be like, I need you to match these clothes for me. And they're like, what? What are you talking? I'm like, I'm colorblind. Help me. Don't make a scene.
How do you dress yourself?
I have my closet color coded.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's a lot easier. Like, I just put
That's better than
everything.
you just saying you don't.
Yeah, I used to not. Back in high school, I was just like a mess. People thought I was like some crazy, like, new age hipster ass bullshit before hipster was a thing, because I would wear like green pants and like a purple t-shirt. I didn't even know. I was like, whatever, man. Looks good to me.
I never played off as Ava colors.
Yeah, basically.
I'm just as Unit One, you know, guys. It's
Yeah.
really popular.
Yeah.
Come on.
Come on, man. Evangelion. You never heard of it? Shinji, you know, bitchiest anime character ever. So, quick question.
Mhm.
I know you've mentioned before, we had a conversation over Twitter. We talk a lot on Twitter. That's like my main place to talk to people because I hate my phone and I'd like to talk to people on the computer. So Twitter's great. Same thing with my
Mhm.
iPad. But you've mentioned that you're not super into anime, but still, what are your like top 2 or 3 anime? You can even
Uh
you don't have to put them in a specific order. You can even make it like top 5 and just be like, here are 5 anime, that I really liked.
oh crap. I need to think about this. No.
While you're
I
thinking
really like
about this.
I really like Steins Gate.
Oh, I love Steins
Um
Gate. Okabe is my man.
yeah. I gotta look at things that I've watched because I just forget everything that I love.
Did you watch the Persona anime?
I watched some of it.
Okay, because I
It
know
was
you've
it was
cosplayed
okay.
from the games.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was played as Yukiko
Yukiko.
and I hate Yukiko.
Yeah,
I
Yukiko's
don't know
lame.
why I agreed to that.
She's kind of lame.
She is. She's really boring. She's like the stereotypical, like long-haired, boring brunette.
Welcome to Persona games where
Yep.
every character is super stereotypical. Here's your punky female friend who loves meat. Like that was always just a running joke for me when I was playing Persona 4. I'm like, why does Chie love meat so much? I'm like, this is just inappropriate. I want
Stick
meat on a stick.
jokes.
Yeah, I want meat on a stick. I'm like, mm-hmm. Of course you do. And
Okay,
Yosuke.
let's see. Oh, I love Yosuke.
Yeah, Yosuke is
He's-
hilarious. I want to cosplay as Yosuke when he goes to the beauty pageant and he dresses up like a girl. I want to do that so badly.
I really like him and Kanji.
Yeah, Kanji's hilarious. Kanji's like I loved his whole like zone or whatever when you go in there, the bathhouse or whatever. Oh,
Yeah.
so funny. Oh man. Persona is like one of those games, man. I have so many fond memories of it. And then I cosplayed Adachi over the summer. That was fun.
Hmm. I I'm really partial to Persona 3. I don't know
Yeah,
if you played that or not,
I
but
did. I
it's
did
really
play
good.
Persona
Okay.
3. I really liked that one a lot. Have you cosplayed from it?
No, but I want to be Fuka.
Oh, okay. The one that
She's
cooks
cute.
poorly. Yeah, she
Mm-hmm.
can't cook for shit. I remember when I was like first playing through the game, it was like you need more bravery to even try her meal. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
god, this is gonna be bad.
I want to be Ken too.
Oh, Ken's cute.
He's
Uh,
adorable.
yeah.
My friend Avery cosplays as him, and she is absolutely adorable.
Hmm.
And I would pay money to just hear her say, like, while dressed up as him, "You're on a roll." And I really want to hear her say that.
I always wanted to like. I wish I could make Teddy's like giant actual like shell and wear
Mm.
that and just run around and be like, I want to come out fighting. I'm gonna come out fighting. You did it, senpai. You knocked him down. Oh god, Teddy is hilarious.
Do you hear Taylor talking to sleep?
Yeah. So if you guys didn't know, Taylor is Chelsea's boyfriend, and he's having night terrors of sorts. Is what I imagine it to be right now. He's dreaming about destiny. He's just furious right now that he can't get the glimmer and the nodes of light. Was that a fart?
I don't know. I don't know what that was.
He's summoning demons over there. He's just kumsi kumsa, kumsi kumsa. Oh god. Okay.
Okay, back. Okay.
Yeah.
Favorite anime.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we've already got Steins Gate, which I
Steins
totally
Gate.
agree with is amazing.
I really like Gurren Lagann.
Gurren Lagann's great.
Samurai Champloo.
Okay.
And let's go to manga. I really love
manga.
One Piece.
Oh.
One Piece is my jam.
Aren't you cosplaying for One Piece sometime soon at the next convention that
Yes.
you're going to? Neko?
Yeah.
Okay, who are you
I'm
cosplaying?
Sugar from Doflamingo's crew.
Ooh.
And my friend Chelsea's going to be Dellinger, and my boyfriend's going to be Doflamingo.
Ooh.
And I am dreading making that coat.
Oh god. Yeah, see, I have a friend that cosplayed as Doflamingo, and he used a bunch of boas like you are, and it was it was a mess putting it together. It was a mess at the convention, and it's just always a mess because no matter what you do, the boas fall apart. Like they just naturally shed or something. So there's always like a trail leading to Doflamingo. If you ever lose Taylor, you're just gonna be like, oh, let's just follow the pink feathers.
Yeah.
Oh, here he is. Hey.
I'm kind of looking forward to that, but not. So I don't want to get in trouble for like leaving feathers everywhere.
It's messy.
Because it's bound to happen when you have what is it, like a little over 50 meters of feathers.
Yeah, how many boas did you buy? I think my friend used about 10, maybe 12.
What?
Yeah, he used a bunch.
I hope they were
small.
I got 26.
Oh, you've got 26?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. He must
You
have.
probably used more than that.
Yeah. I thought he only used that many. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I remember him like buying. We went to Joanne Fabrics, and I think he bought like 12 of them. He might have gone back and bought more, but I just remember like him coming back to the apartment and laying them all out, and it was horrifying. I was just like,
he may have used like thicker ones, like they might have been fluffier.
Yeah.
Or he might not have like spaced, like he might have spaced them further apart to where you can still like it still looks like a coat, you know, like just a bunch of feathers, but you can't really. Like I want to put them like real close together, so it's just like just nothing but fluff.
So you're making the jacket as it sounds to be, correct?
Yes.
You're putting this together. So one thing I want to ask you is like, what's your favorite thing about making costumes? Because some people like in the cosplay community, like no offense to anybody, like they just don't want to make the costume. I can't blame them. I don't like making costumes very much. I try and do as little as humanly possible because I'm just not crafty as all. I can make music. I can do all of that. I'm good with words. I can't put a costume together for the life of me. So what's your favorite part about it?
Aside from props, which I'm sure we'll get into.
Oh yeah, we're gonna delve deep into props.
Okay. I really like tedious things. So anything that I can like sit there and just hunch over and do for like 10 hours straight while watching Firefly or something.
Yeah, so something with a pattern almost.
Yeah, like like when I cosplayed Crocodile from One Piece, I hand sewed my entire jacket, or my
Oh.
coat, which I mean isn't well apart from the parts that uh, I fabric glued, which we don't get into that. It looks awful. I was in a rush. My sewing machine didn't work. Whatever.
Time to hand
So
sew and fabric glue
yeah,
everything together. Nobody's gonna
yeah.
see
Like
any
I
of
hand
this.
sewed everything for like hours and hours and hours. So just stuff like that, I guess.
Hmm.
Not Dremel work. I'm so tired of dremeling.
Oh, I I can't blame you after everything lately.
It's so loud and it's messy and dust gets in your eyes and your nose
And
and
you're
into the
everything.
carpet.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was about to say into everything.
Hmm.
Every little thing, every nook and cranny. So, what is your most memorable cosplay experience? And in combination with this, maybe what's your most memorable slash favorite convention that you've attended?
I think I'll actually have two separate things for that.
Okay.
Um, I will say that my most memorable convention,
Hmm.
like I mean, I had a lot of fun at Dragon Con, but my most memorable has got to be NecoCon 2013.
Hmm.
Yeah, last year. Um, because like the writer and crew of Borderlands 2 were there, and so
I
that
remember
included,
this.
yeah, like Anthony Birch and Ashley Birch's sister, and honestly, that's who we were there for. Because I mean, my boyfriend and I have followed their videos for years.
Yeah. The Hey Ash,
On
What You Playing series is
Yeah,
amazing.
they're so funny, and we decided to cosplay as them.
Hmm.
Except I was going to be Anthony, and Taylor was going to be Ashley,
Oh.
and I had this disgusting beard that I spirit gummed to my face, and I had crumbs in it from crackers and stuff, and it was just gross. And when we went up to them to get autographs, which by the way I didn't get Borderlands signed,
Hmm.
I got Kitten Party signed.
Oh, nice.
So
If-
now I've got all the voice actors and the writer of Borderlands, like all their signatures on Kitten Party, and I will never get rid of that.
oh
So
my God.
so when we went up there, we I don't think they realized that we were supposed to be them at first,
Hmm.
because Anthony was even like, he tweeted later and he was like, "Oh, this is like really cool cosplay. I've never seen like the whole like kind of gender swap thing."
Hmm.
And then he was like, I saw this girl from across the room. This is just paraphrasing.
Yeah.
See this girl thing? She's pretty hot.
Hmm.
And then she gets up close, and I realize that one, she's a guy, and two, he's cosplaying my sister. So that was great. Um, so yeah,
Oh my
that
gosh.
was a lot of fun. Just going to those panels and stuff and meeting them. It was just a really chill atmosphere.
Hmm.
Because a smaller convention, not a ton of people there, but still big enough to meet new people and stuff like that.
Hmm.
But yeah, that was a ton of fun.
Well, that sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
The crumbs in the beard that was it for me. After that point, I lost it.
I got a picture somewhere, and I don't know if I think I posted on Twitter,
Hmm.
and I never want that to get out into the public.
Of you with
Because
the
that is,
crumbs in your
yeah.
beard. Oh no, because I saw the picture that Anthony Birch posted or whatever with you guys.
Hmm.
I saw that one, but I didn't see any like close-ups, and I kind of wish that I did now. Maybe I did see one, I just don't remember it. I don't know.
I'm sure you'll find the picture posted on Twitter somewhere.
I'm
Um,
after
I
we're
think
done here,
it was
I'm
a
gonna
couple
find
days
it.
ago. I'm pretty sure that I posted it, and it looks like, if you look up close, you can see a crumb, and it's disgusting, and I look awful, and I want to
Taylor
be the
looks
only person to ever
fabulous.
see that again.
Yeah.
He does. He looks great as a woman.
Taylor and I should do a crossplay together sometime.
I want him to
I'll wear
dress in drag so bad.
I'll wear heels. I'll go from being 6'2" to like 6'6".
Oh my God,
I'll be a behemoth.
you should do drag with my friend Chatham, who
Mhm.
is 6'7",
Oh yes.
and he recently at Dragon Con cosplayed as dressed in drag as Ariel, like
Mhm.
Little Mermaid,
Yeah.
and he was in like this shipwreck dress,
Yeah.
and he looked just glorious, and he had 5-inch heels on, so he was 7 feet tall.
Oh my god.
And people were asking him constantly how tall he was, and I could just hear like just the anger in his voice at every time someone asked him how tall he was.
Oh no. How tall are you? Tall enough to
Yeah.
crush you. Oh no, that's really funny
Yeah,
actually.
and there were like creepy guys talking to him and
Well,
just being gross.
well, welcome to a convention. Creepy boys
Yeah.
afoot everywhere. Boys who haven't showered, boys who feel the need to touch you, boys who are just disgusting.
Yeah, like Dragon Con is great. Like it's
Mhm.
my favorite convention now, but when it hits like 3:30, 4 a.m. in the morning,
Mhm.
um
You have the filth of the earth.
yeah, just scum is left.
Oh no.
And because I mean all the cool people have already, like the Pulse Lounge or whatever has already closed.
Yeah.
So everyone's kind of drifted, I guess, back to their hotel rooms and stuff like that to, party with friends.
Mhm. Or sleep.
And then or sleep. Who knows, whatever.
Yep.
But who does that?
Yeah, sleep, forget about it. Convention?
Yeah.
Nah.
So yeah, like at this point of the night, it's just creeps left.
Yeah.
It's scary.
Okay. That's just, yeah, no. Youmacon is coming up here in Detroit. It's actually on Halloween weekend. It starts on Halloween. Actually, no, it starts the day before Halloween. It starts on the 30th and it goes all the way until like November 2nd. And it's a 24-hour convention. So like no matter what.
That's it?
Well, no, I mean like it's constantly.
Oh,
Yeah, like it never
never
closes.
mind.
Like there's always stuff going on all night long.
Mhm.
Like you will find people in rooms like watching hentai and like sleeping and stuff. It like you'll walk around the convention, there'll just be people sleeping on the floor. It doesn't matter because it's always open. Like at no point will they tell you that you need to leave. You can do whatever you
Mhm.
want as long as you have a pass. Have fun, good
Yeah.
times. But you will see the most disgusting people because like the rave typically gets out around 3:30 and you'll have a few stragglers until about 3:45, but once it hits 4 in the morning and there are still people there, you just know what kind of people they are. Like they
Oh
are
yeah.
so out of it. They don't even know where they are. They're like, well, no, 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 no. Oh god. Is Dragon Con like that? Can you just like keep walking around all night long?
From what I recall, I don't remember anybody like trying to usher people out or anything. Because I mean, we were there until a little past 4 in the morning
Mm-hmm.
on Sunday night, and I mean, it runs until Monday.
Yeah.
So
Like Otakon, I know they always like start kicking you out around like 3:30 or some crap like that. And that always
Yeah.
annoyed me because I'm just like, why?
yeah, I mean, this is held in a hotel,
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I guess you can't really usher people
Yeah,
out of
there's
the
no
hotel
way.
lobby.
Yeah, that makes sense actually.
hmm
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to mention the drag queen. I don't know if I want to call her drag queen because I don't know. She just wasn't quite glamorous enough. Um,
Half drag
so
queen.
yeah. So they come up to us and they were like, just having a good time, talking about how this was their first convention,
Mm-hmm.
and they at some point mentioned that they had like glitter on their lips.
Oh.
And so like, yeah, I mean, I've been sharing the love, so like all my glitter's gone. And we just looked at each other and we were like, oh no, like, we know what's coming. And then they just grab us. They grabbed each one of us by the head and just like kissed us.
Oh my god.
And so now we probably all have herpes.
That
And I mean, no flare-ups yet, so
yeah,
that's
no
good.
flare-ups yet. That's good. That's good news. Oh.
But yeah,
whoa.
like Taylor tried to turn his head, but that didn't even work.
No, they were too strong.
Yep.
They were too strong even for our strong man Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
And Taylor hits the gym. I mean, Taylor works out. He is not like a skinny guy or anything like that. So for him to not be able to resist, that tells you something.
Yeah, we were all just kind of stunned. Like it just happened. Like it was too fast to like do anything about it. We were just kind of like,
That's like when I was at Colossal Con, not 2014, but 2013 for my 21st birthday. I was dressed up as Dirk Strider from Homestuck. and these like group of girls wanted a picture with me, and I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever. And like these two girls had their arms around me, and I'm like, sweet, cool, swagging it up with the ladies. And then all of a sudden, handfuls of my ass, just like full blown, like they were vice gripping on my butt.
Oh
I
no.
wasn't going anywhere, and I'm like, what? Because people are trying to take pictures, and I'm like looking behind me as if like,
Yeah.
what just happened? People like have no sense of space at conventions. I think that's my biggest annoyance actually with cons, going off on a tangent a little bit here, but I think it's poignant. I hate the fact that people do not respect personal space.
Oh yeah.
I love it at a convention if somebody walks up to me and is like, do you mind if I touch you? Because I'm just like, yes, you can touch me because you asked. But when people just come up and start like touching the butt, or they like feel the need to like try and play it off like, oh, I just grazed this chick's boob on accident. I hate stuff like that. It drives me insane, and it is so common. And I'm just like, why?
It is. It's awful.
I hate it. I'm just like, what is up with all of you people and not knowing how to like keep your hands to yourself? My goodness. Intimate
It's really
space.
unfortunate because that's why a lot of girls, for example, don't want to dress in, more like provocative outfits because, people don't respect their personal space, and it's awful.
Yeah,
I
they
wish
start
that didn't have to
objectifying
happen.
you, and it's like terrible. They start treating you like an object rather than a human
Yeah.
being, and like it's
And
not fair.
that doesn't even just go for women, like anything where like if a person can't see your face, there's a good chance that they're just going to objectify you.
Yeah,
like
there's
for
just
example,
a huge disconnect.
Yeah, like I'm sure you've heard of Vulcan Props.
Yeah.
And he Harrison from Vulcan dressed up as the Marriott carpet from Dragon Con. And like he would get told to like get on the ground and all this stuff because he had, camo on, there was a helmet and stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, like he said that in I don't remember if it was Bill Duran's Prop Live or whatever. But basically he was saying that was the first time he had been objectified in a cosplay.
Yeah.
People were like yelling from balconies to get on the ground, and they would take pictures of him, and he wouldn't realize that people would be like standing over him, like trying to hump him and stuff like that.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's awful.
That's terrible.
Yeah, like if it's one thing if it's your friend doing that. Like I don't like if it were like Chelsea or Taylor doing that to me, I would not care.
Yeah.
But if it's just a stranger, like, or an acquaintance, who are you to tell me that or do that to me,
Yeah. It's just like, why can't you just show some respect? Because like being able to respect other people shows that you have self-respect, and if you can't respect other people, then I think that you can't even respect yourself.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
you can't even hold yourself to a high enough standard to treat people like human beings. It's just, that's like one of the biggest issues in the cosplay community, and like it's always a problem, and people are always trying to work on it, and I appreciate that everybody's trying to do something, but like it just sucks because I'm just nothing seems to be working, and like it's really strict at conventions nowadays. Like if you just like accuse somebody of harassing you or something like that, like they're out. It's done.
Yeah.
They don't even ask questions at this point anymore because it's gotten so bad. Like ShudoCon is a convention held here in Lansing, Michigan, and I went 2 years ago, and we went to the dance, and there were dudes going into the dance, and like this is an all ages dance, mind you, not like a lot of raves or whatever at conventions that are 18 plus. This is all ages. So we're in there and we're dancing, and there are men with professional grade cameras laying on the floor, taking upskirt shots of girls and taking pictures of girls like and guys kissing. And you knew that the girls were underage and that the dudes are older. And I'm like, you can't do that. And I remember I was getting so mad. I had to like just leave. I was like, I can't take this anymore. I want to freak out on somebody because like it's just disgusting.
There was one convention. I don't recall which one it was. It might have been Otakon or it might have been like AUSA. I don't know. I just know it was an East Coast one, and there were clear staircases, so you can see where that's going.
Oh yeah.
They might not have been clear. They might have been like frosted, like frosted glass. But either way, clear enough to get photos of upskirt shots and stuff like that. And so that was a big problem. And I guess they remedied that pretty quickly.
Yeah. I don't know. Conventions, man.
Yep.
There's a lot of work still to be done, especially now because like there was a sudden boom as of like what
Hmm.
3 years ago. It really started to get big.
Yeah, I've noticed over probably around 2 years ago. Yeah, like it just completely just expanded.
Yeah, around 2012, that's when things really started to get crazy. Like even late 2011, but now it's like so out of hand. Like they're really starting a lot of the conventions and stuff like that are being pressed for like how do we handle situations like this? How do we make this experience actually enjoyable for all ages and stuff like that? Because there are hardly any conventions that are only 18 plus. I've only heard of like one.
Yeah.
And so you have to make it comfortable for everybody. And they do a good job by like splitting up panels for being like 18 plus and stuff like that. But still, like the convention grounds themselves are fair game for almost everything, and they shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Like,
Like at Dragon Con,
mhm,
I saw there was one girl in particular who you could tell she was definitely underage.
mhm,
Um, I mean, there were plenty of underage people there, but this
yeah.
one girl was being carried by her friends because she was just completely out of it, like wasted, drunk.
Oh God.
And she was, it was just embarrassing,
Mhm.
like just the fact that like Dragon Con is a mature atmosphere. Like,
Yeah, it's a lot more professional compared to a lot of like other conventions. Like people take it
yeah,
really seriously because of all the competitions and stuff like that that happen there. It's serious business.
but at the same time, because it's an older crowd, there are a lot more drinks.
Mhm.
At night, it becomes pretty much a nightclub.
Yeah.
So, you have people around like, drinks in their hands constantly. And pretty much if you're it doesn't matter what age you are, you can get a drink really easily just from some random person.
Mhm.
And that's kind of what scares me about people being underage there, because
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like, it's like mature people's responsibility not to give them alcohol, but also, I mean, it's
Yeah, you
their
can't watch.
responsibility
Yeah,
too.
you can't
Yeah.
watch all the like kids that are underage and everything like that. Like, how many times have we heard stories, especially lately, of like girls going missing at like a convention for a night and then like popping up the next morning and like God knows what happened last night. Like
Yeah.
that
Like
comes up too
safety
often.
with the expansion of cosplay recently and like just the big boom of it, like I realized that people are trying to work on this issue,
Hmm.
it's just a matter of safety and stuff like that.
Yeah,
But I mean, I agree, like it's something that needs to be enforced, or security needs to be stricter in environments like that.
yeah. The volunteer security is not going to cut it for much longer at conventions. I feel like because
Hmm.
a lot of cons are still doing the volunteer security, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
how long this is going to last because if I'm 22, 23, let's say even like 25 years old, and some other like 18 to 25-year-old walks up to me and tries to tell me what to do, okay, good luck.
Yeah.
Like if I'm already obnoxious enough and like an asshole enough to go and be ridiculous to the point where somebody feels the need to complain about me, what am I going to care that somebody else, like a peer of my same age at a convention, is telling me what to do? Because a
Hmm.
lot, like at Otakon this year, I went and there were a lot of people going there that had no idea what cosplay was. Even like they just went because they heard about it and they were like, let's just go. Like it just pulls in a bunch of random people that have no idea anything about conventions. So if some 18-year-old dweeb walks up to them and tells them that they're acting inappropriately or something, it's not going to end well.
Hmm.
Like nothing is going to get resolved there. They're just going to be like, F off, go suck a you know what. I'm going to go continue doing whatever I was doing before. Like it's just,
Yeah. Like the drunk girl that I was talking about who was being carried by her friends.
mm,
There was volunteer staff who was basically like, I need to go tell security about you guys because she's obviously, this isn't safe for her.
yeah.
The hall's really crowded. I am obligated to do something about this.
Hmm.
And they're basically just like telling him off, like saying, please don't do that. You don't have any right to do that, blah, blah, blah. But
Yeah,
he had all the right, like,
absolutely.
and it sucked because you could just tell that they didn't care because he was just volunteer, and like he was being the snitch.
Hmm.
But like that's,
He's
I
just doing
mean,
his job.
yeah, like even if it's not his personal job, like I mean, if there's someone who is sick or really needs help or needs to be escorted somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
it's everybody's duty, like
Yeah, you don't even have to work at the convention. You could just be a random attendee or just somebody that's there for who knows what reason. And
mhm.
I mean, you should still take it upon yourself to do something about it. Like there's that effect or whatever where the more people that are around you, the less likely you're going to do anything because you automatically assume that somebody else will do something.
Yeah.
So it's like props to the guy that's actually there doing something, even though there's like huge crowds of people or anything. It's like you actually
Mhm.
stood up to do something and are like taking it upon yourself. But it's just hard when you're an 18 to 25-year-old or 26-year-old person saying like, you got to do this. Nobody's going to listen to you. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
You have no authority. Like you don't, you're just wearing a t-shirt that says staff and it's like, all right,
Mhm.
cool, good for you. But when you see somebody that's like in uniform or whatever, wearing a security outfit that might have like mace or something on them, then it's like, all right, man, I'll listen.
Yeah.
Well, I think we've had enough of this topic. Let's
Okay.
move on.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
No. Don't be sorry about that. Let's move on to. We've talked enough about Dragon Con at this point to where I think we can really get into the nitty gritty of your most recent cosplay and what you really like to do in cosplay and what you did at Dragon Con. And I mentioned in the news previously that you actually won a competition for this costume. So if you wanted to go into the deets on all of this, I would love to listen.
Okay. Well, like I mentioned earlier, I love WoW, which is World of Warcraft for those listening. And I cosplayed a character named Maya of Shadowsong, who, basically she's just a night elf. She's really cool. She's a leader of the Wardens or the Watchers, and she's Illidan Stormrage's warden. Tries to keep him in check, but kind of sucks at it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I cosplayed her recently, and I made like her suit of armor from some Burning Crusade cover or loading art.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I made it for Dragon Con, and it was a huge pain to make and a huge pain to wear, and I loved it.
So like what goes into making, like what materials do you even use to make like armor and stuff like that, in your case at least? I mean,
the majority of it just floor mats, like it's EVA foam, that's what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
It's just those those puzzle piece floor mats that you see at like daycare centers and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff like that. My friend Chatham gave me like a couple packs of it, and that that was plenty for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like the stuff I used a couple different thicknesses. I used like 1/2-inch foam for like my helmet and my breastplate.
Mm-hmm.
And then I used for like the smaller pieces, like my boots, my bracers and stuff. I used 1/4-inch foam that I ordered off eBay.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's the majority of it. There's some insulation foam, some thermoplastic, like I don't even know if you consider it thermoplastic, but Sintra
mm-hmm.
and styrene, just plastic sheets,
Mm-hmm. So how do you go about like even like cutting stuff like that? Do you like make out like a pattern? Like some people just freehand stuff like this. Other people for more nitty gritty, like a costume like yours where it's very detailed and stuff like
mm-hmm.
that. Like when I look at the pictures, it's extremely detailed. You can tell that it's probably like made from a pattern. So like, did you draw it to yourself? Did you like come up with the dimensions and everything like that yourself?
Well, I'm sure you've heard of Kamui, the
mm-hmm.
cosplayer.
Yeah.
She published a book that you can buy for like $5 or something that's got armor patterns in it, like very, very basic armor patterns that she probably uses just for most of her stuff, and then she elaborates upon it,
mm-hmm.
later. So yeah, I downloaded that, I printed them out, and I used them as like the most basic point of my armor.
Mm-hmm.
And when I first printed them out, I was like, yeah, I'm like almost done. This is great.
Uh-huh.
But then once I cut them out, I printed them out on cardstock, and I would, tape together pieces and stuff like that and try them on. And that's when I realized, oh my God, I have to make most of this from scratch.
Oh no.
And so there was so much cutting, so much masking tape. There were some pieces where I would wrap my arm in plastic wrap and then cover that in masking tape and then draw the pattern on that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I did that for my boots or my um like my shin armor, I
Mm-hmm.
guess. My bracers initially, and then I had to change those a lot. Um, I made my helmet like I made like a dummy helmet, I guess, on just like a foam head that was kind of close to my head dimensions. And I just took like tinfoil and put it on there and then covered that in masking or duct tape. Yeah, duct tape.
Oh
I just kind of
gosh.
drew the helmet on there, like the pieces that I thought I would have to cut out.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, once I had the pattern pieces cut out, which, it takes a lot of experimenting. Like that
Yeah.
is a huge, huge part of the process. And I would definitely recommend spending plenty of time on that and not rushing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, once I had that cut out, um, I took rubber cement.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of people use the brand Barge, but I haven't come across that yet. It's kind of harder to find, and I prefer to buy things in store, but if I
Yeah.
have to order it, I will. But yeah, I just used I don't know, it might be by 3M. But yeah, it's just a rubber cement, and I brush that on, let it dry a bit, and then squeeze the pieces together.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean that's like a permanent hold. Like the foam will tear before that stuff comes apart.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's
So
actually cool.
yeah, it's really cool. So that's how you obtain like complex curves on things. So like on my helmet, like that's not coming apart ever
Mm-hmm.
unless you like cut it apart, of course. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's really cool like seeing pieces flat, and then just putting them together, and you can form something round, out of
Yeah.
nothing
See,
basically.
like I've only seen like process like this go by. Like I've watched people make armor pieces and things like that, but I've never listened to someone even describe like what goes into it or what kind of materials they use or what kind of glue or anything
Hmm.
like that. Like I've seen people make costumes where it's just like they put on this little mini suit thing and then we had to like wrap them in duct tape and then they took off the duct tape and then we went
Hmm.
from there and like yada yada yada. Like everybody has their own specific way to do things for a certain costume and it's just kind of like trial and error. Like I
Oh
think this
yeah.
is the best way to do it, so we're going to just go from here and screw it. Let's
Oh
go.
yeah.
It's like so.
That's what the majority of the process was.
Oh man, yeah. Like, were there any pieces that were especially difficult? Like, was the helmet harder to make than like the rest of it, for instance, or any like, was there any particular piece of the entire set that you felt was just driving you up the wall?
Um, there are a couple different pieces that gave me issues. One was the bracers.
Hmm.
I still am not happy with them because they get caught on my cloak.
Hmm.
And when they get caught, like I have little spikes on them. Like when
Yeah.
those get caught, my arm can freely move around in it.
Hmm.
So like in some photos, you can see where like my arm is in a completely different position than my bracer's in. And it doesn't look natural, of course. Like,
Yeah.
the armor should follow your movement.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, like the just getting the shape on the bracers for some reason was extremely difficult because the concept art for my Ev in that particular loading screen was just impossible. Like I don't know what they were trying to go for there, but it's not impossible, of course. Like, but you had to interpret it a couple different ways,
It's the
and just
BC loading screen, right? The one for
yeah.
yeah, I know which one you're talking about with all the other characters or whatever.
Hmm.
I know which
Yeah,
one
there's
that is then.
her and Akama is on
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've seen that so many times.
Hmm. Yeah,
Okay.
that particular piece, the chest piece, like with like the boob armor,
Mhm.
those those weren't super difficult, but like finishing them was a pain in the butt because as I was trying to paint them, like where I had sanded down some of the seams on the boobs, like I had like a dart cut and you glue along that little triangle cutout,
Mhm.
to get it to hold a curve. And where I had sanded those seams down, it was all rough and gross looking, and like I just couldn't figure out how to get it to look any better. And I started painting and I was like, oh, this looks disgusting and it looks like it has nipples and I don't like this.
It's like the Batman costume with nipples.
Yeah, it was like George Clooney's costume.
Yeah, it's
And
immediately what popped in my head when he said
mhm,
nipples on there. I was just like, yep.
yeah, like it was just like little rough nipples on my costume. I
Oh
was not
no.
having any of that. So
Yeah, no.
I broke out my gesso and I painted a bunch of that on and sanded it down. And I'm so glad I did that
Mm-hmm.
because like I did that on my helmet a bit and my breastplate and it made it look so much better. Like I wish I had taken before and after shots of it so I could show like how important it was.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Pre-nip, post-nip.
yeah, just take my word for it. Please make sure your boobs are smooth.
Yeah, you don't want rough nips, man.
Nope.
Nobody wants rough nips on a
Mm-mm.
costume. All right, well, so you mentioned that you made the costume and you wore it to Dragon Con, and I mentioned previously that you entered a contest. Now tell me a little bit about that.
Well, on the way, I actually didn't know that there was a WoW costume contest on the way up there.
Mm-hmm.
And then a guy that was traveling with us, Paul, who I met recently, he's a really cool guy. He was going to cosplay someone from WoW and enter the contest, but he didn't finish it. And he was like, "Oh man, I really wish I could have entered that." And blah blah blah. And I was like, "Wait, there's a contest?"
Mm-hmm.
And everyone was like, "Yeah, you should do it." And I was like, "Well, I don't know. Like, I didn't finish my weapon. I'm really lame, and no one's gonna like me,
Mm-hmm.
and everyone's gonna hate me and see like my unfinished edge on my cloak and all this stuff."
Mm-hmm.
So, so yeah, I go in there into the prejudge hall or the prejudging hall.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting down, and I spoke to one of the judges later on Facebook, and she's really nice.
Mm-hmm.
But she was like, "Yeah, you just walked in, all the judges just turned to each other and went, whelp."
Well,
And I was like, oh, I kind of feel bad. But it was a really great experience.
Mm-hmm.
And like I entered a couple different categories, and I ended up winning best armor,
Ooh.
which is really cool because
Congratulations for your 2-finger clap. Everybody 2-finger clap.
Thank you. Yeah, I never made armor before. This is my first time, so I was really proud of that because now, you know, like if I got an award for that, like,
and it's your first time.
Yeah, like I'm looking forward to what I can make in the future.
It can only go up from here.
Yeah, hopefully.
At this point, yeah. Well, yeah.
What if I just?
You could plateau.
So much worse.
No. You could plateau or you can go up. There's no going down for you.
Okay.
Only plateauing, and then at some point you'll just go right back up anyways. And I'm sure once you finish the weapon for that costume, it's going to be ridiculous.
Yeah, I really need to get to work on that. Oh my god, I've got a month, a little over a month.
And this won't be the first weapon you've worked on. You made a Ryuko Matoi scissor blade previously.
I made that.
It was a commission, correct?
Yeah, it's my first commission, so I didn't really know how it was going to turn out. It took me so long. It took me like 9 months because I procrastinate and I was a horrible friend and and like I was commissioned around, I don't really remember what month, but basically like it was getting kind of cool outside.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to do my work outside, like my sanding and stuff. And my hands, like, you know, I don't want to wear gloves because I can't articulate with those.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would go outside and try to work on my scroll saw, and my hands would just freeze.
Oh no!
So it was really hard to work in the winter. So I had to wait until it cooled or until it warmed up outside, and I felt awful because, like, even though the commission wasn't due until like Otakon or whatever, like it still took me so long. But I finally finished it.
It looked awesome.
Thank you.
When I saw like the final pictures of it, because I've seen my fair share of scissor blades at enough conventions at this point now, since that is just like the flavor of the week at this moment.
Yeah.
But I've seen so many of them, and like a lot of them are like really rough, or like the handle isn't done right. And like I remember when I saw the pictures of yours, I was so impressed. I was just like, holy shit.
Thank you. There's one guy who commissions a lot of scissor blades. I don't recall his name at the moment, but he does really great work. And like I remember after I finished mine for Lily, I was trying so hard to compare mine to this guy's scissor blades, but then I realized I was like, I did all this strictly by hand, like with my little Dremel tool. Like I didn't have belt sander at the time, or I still don't have a belt sander, so I couldn't get like completely smooth edges and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I was trying not to be too hard on myself because, his look amazing and mine was like a little rough in some areas, a little bumpy, but overall, like I was pretty satisfied with it. Like I really liked the paint that I used.
Yeah, the paint looked awesome, and I'm
Yeah,
colorblind as hell, and it still looked cool to me. I was like,
I
yo,
I used
spot
a
on.
like an auto paint,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like a sparkly metallic blood red color. And I went through so many cans of that somehow, just for one little blade. But yeah, I mean it was a really good experience, and I'm really looking forward to making more weapons,
Mm-hmm.
like super cool ones.
Yeah, because you actually are interested in like doing something more with like making armor and like weapons and props and things like that. I don't know if you want to get into that on here. I know that you've mentioned it before that you would love to make a career out of it, actually. Like you look up to people like Chinbeard, who you actually got to meet at Dragon Con, correct?
Yeah, he was really nice.
Yeah, Chinbeard's great.
He for those who don't know who Chinbeard is, he's a
Builder
prop maker.
ran.
Yeah, builder and he's a really great prop maker. And I remember the first time I really seen anything by him was his Handsome Jack mask from Borderlands 2.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like, it wasn't even a weapon. I was just like, I want to do this for a living.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's just when it just clicked. Like, I had gone through so many different options. Like, I wanted to be a makeup artist. I want to be a neuroscientist. I wanted to just do so many different things. I wanted to be like, I was majoring in computer science for a while, and I hated that.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah, it sucked. But yeah, like that's when it just clicked with me, and I was like, it's not even a question at this point. I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna be a professional prop maker. It's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
There's no failure option, so it's just gonna be a thing.
Mm-hmm. And you're actually really good at it. I mean,
you.
like you won a contest at your first armor. So, I mean, you're already on the right track at this point. So, and like you've mentioned before, you don't even have a lot of the materials that these more professional people have, and you're still getting up to snuff, and like you're still doing a lot better than what some people are capable of with the professional materials. So it's extremely impressive.
Thanks.
Yeah. I even have talked to you about potentially commissioning you. And that says a lot because I generally am really nitpicky about stuff like that because I'm so compulsive about costumes and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, like it goes to say a lot that like you've done your time with this and like you've put in the effort, and it really shows that you've practiced so much at it and that you've like done a lot of trial and error on this and that you actually really enjoy it, because if you didn't enjoy it, you wouldn't even put in half the effort that you are right now, because not too many people want to sit down and hand sew something or use a Dremel on like to make these pieces and stuff like that. Like it's a pain. And you even talked about being in the winter, like still trying to do it, even though it's freezing outside. And that just goes to show that like cosplay isn't just a hobby for some people. It's a lot more than that. Like a lot of people are just like, yeah, cosplaying, it's a hobby. It's just what you do for fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, for some people, this is actually
I hate when
like,
people say that.
yeah, I'm like, yeah, for some people it is a hobby and it is just for fun. It's a great way to make friends and everything like that. And it's a great way to see new experiences. But for a lot of people, they actually treat this as a career. And the way that you treat it as a career is it's almost like walking advertising. If you put somebody in your costume or you wear your own costume, you're advertising. It's like wearing a t-shirt with a logo on it. When somebody asks, did you buy that or did you make it? And then you can elaborate and be like, oh, I had it commissioned by yada, yada, yada. Here's their card. Or I made it. Here's my card. Like conventions have turned into a business at this point. A lot of companies even hire professional cosplayers like, Crunchyroll. They have people that work for them that are just professional cosplayers, because it really is a lot more than what it used to be 2 years ago, like we mentioned.
Oh yeah, it's like I loved cosplay 2 years ago, but now it's so much more than just like a fun hobby, Like I didn't realize that people did this for a living until like was it like a year ago, I guess, or a little over a year ago, when I saw what people could make and how people did actually live off of this, like people actually, can pay for like living expenses through props and stuff, and it's amazing.
Oh yeah. No, I'm always impressed, and like when you see the work that they do, even though, they're selling their work and like a lot of times they're making a lot of pieces at the same time, it's
Hmm.
just done so well by some of these people. Like it is just so impressive to see like what they are capable of putting together.
Absolutely.
And I don't know. I love cosplaying, man. I love as much as I complain about like the fandoms and stuff like that and like how rude and inappropriate people are at conventions, I still love cons and I love cosplaying, and I don't think that's ever going to go away for me. And
Hmm.
I don't think that's going to go away for you either from the way that
No,
things sound.
not
It's
at all.
just one of those things where like I'm always going to have like I'm going to be 30 something years old and be like I'm going to a convention. I don't care if I'm going
I'm
gray.
gonna dress as the Yowies.
Yeah, I'm gonna dress up as the Yowie Boys. You guys can't stop me now. I know for sure that our friend Chelsea will be doing the Yowie Boys for decades to come.
So she's like 98.
She's gonna be 98 years old. She's still gonna be wearing a like Yaubas,
Yeah,
Yaubas, Alba's jacket. She'll be like, back in my day, our Yowie came on DVDs. No, but it really is like it's a passion at this point. Like I admire you a lot for being able to just say that like I am doing this, because I had like recently like I had like a breakdown in the sense that I didn't know what I was going to do after I graduate. I'm like I'm working at a law firm right now, and that's cool to be like an ace attorney and everything like that, and it's fun, but is this really what I want to do, is work at a civil lawsuit or something where I don't even care for it? I like the general idea of law, but
mm,
how can I apply to the how can I apply this to something else? And like then I realized I can actually make a career out of like working in anime or at like conventions and stuff like that, and writing up contracts and all of this yada yada yada
yeah,
yada, et cetera, et
absolutely.
cetera. And I can still continue my hobby of, like voice acting and everything like that, because I did radio for so long it felt like a waste. And I feel like conventions really brought that back for me, actually, because I went to these things and I saw that people were making a living off of all of this, and that they were having so much fun, and like you would meet some like really amazing people, and like I've made such great friends through cosplay and stuff like that, you, Taylor, and Chelsea, for instance.
Thank you.
And it's just like, why would I ever want to stop doing this, and why would I just treat it like a hobby when I can start taking it a little bit more seriously and maybe make a career out of it and go work for one of these great companies and get to go to conventions and get paid to go to conventions and still wear costumes, and nobody's even going to judge me if I'm like 40 years old and wearing my David Tennant cosplay. Nobody's going to even bat a lash. It's awesome. I don't know, man.
Yeah. Plus, when
Anime.
you're 40, it'll be more accurate.
Yeah, exactly. I already at 22 I'm doing a great job, but at 40 it'll be even better. But really, it's just like anime, video games, and like conventions and all of this crap. It's gone so much more mainstream than it was before. Like 20 years ago, if you were to say that you wanted to go and make a career in like video games or anime, people would look at you kind of weird. Nowadays, some people are like, "Oh wow, that's really impressive. That's so cool. Tell me more
Hmm.
about it." That would never happen before. And it's great to see how far we've come with all this. And I think that's why it's so important to go to like conventions. If you are a fan of like anime, video games, or anything like that, even just go to one of your local conventions. Just check it out. Like it will change you. Your first convention, like it might not be the greatest thing ever, but if you go with friends, it really will change your whole outlook on all of it altogether.
Absolutely. I completely agree.
I don't know, man. I love cosplay. But on this note, we're going to head into the anime and convention news. So we will be right back. Stay right there, folks. Hey, everybody, it's Anton bringing you your anime and convention related news for the week of September 21st, 2014. To start things off, we recently saw the manga Tokyo Ghoul, created by Sui Ishida, come to a close. Along with this manga coming to a close, the anime too is nearing its end date. But fear not, Ghoul fanatics, the official Chinese website for Tokyo Ghoul has listed that the second season will be airing this January. I actually shed a few tears toward the end of the manga, so if the anime actually gets to the ending of the manga, I'm sure we will hear fans of the show crying from their windows for more Tokyo Ghoul. What do you think of Tokyo Ghoul? Did you enjoy how the manga ended? Are you able to enjoy the show even with its heavy censoring? Shoot me a tweet on Twitter with your thoughts. Log Horizon 2 has moved to Studio Dean, the official website for the second season of the Trapped in a Video Game anime. Log Horizon has announced that the series will now be animated by Studio Dean, unlike the previous season that was animated by Satellite. The series will be 25 episodes long, and if it's anything like the first season, I'm sure you'll be hearing a lot of good things from me all about it. The sixth TV ad for Fate Stay Night has aired, and it highlights Ilya. If you remember from the first adaptation of Fate Stay Night and Fate Zero, Ilya is a small girl with awesome white hair that takes part in the magical battles of the Fate universe with her partner, Hercules. There are some other twists that pertain to her character that I won't spoil here, but if you haven't checked out Fate Zero, please do so before you get into the new Fate Stay Night. It is totally worth it. On to some gaming news. Persona 4 Dancing All Night for the PS Vita is now delayed until 2015. Atlus unveiled a new promo video for the rhythm game at the Tokyo Game Show on Saturday, and the new video lists a release date set for 2015. The game was originally scheduled to release this fall in Japan, so I'm sure this means we're going to see it even later released in the United States. Insert sad face emoji here. Wah, wah, wah. A new game show trailer for Silent Hills was released at Tokyo Game Show this past weekend. The trailer features some deeply disturbing images and some crazy bug horror, but overall really didn't scare the crap out of me. Overall, the title looks impressive, but until I can get some more solid trailers and the like, I'm going to just continue riding the Kojima Del Toro fan train all the way to Best Buy. The Meiji-era Ace Attorney TGS video has been posted. Capcom began streaming the video that it unveiled at Tokyo Game Show for Great Turnabout Trial: The Adventures of Ryunosuke Naruhodo, the newest game in the Ace Attorney franchise. The trailer introduces us to the new main character, Sherlock, and what looks to be his cute assistant. I personally credit this game series with helping me choose my career path, so I know I will definitely be purchasing it if it is released in the United States. Now onto some convention-related news that isn't Tokyo Game Show. VIZ Media recently made the move to expand its global presence by having manga showcased at international pop culture and comic conventions. This is exciting news for anime and manga lovers alike because not only does this mean we gain more access to legally distributed content, but it also shows the growth that is occurring within the anime and manga industry and the need to expand more to capitalize on new markets. To the north in Canada, Unplugged Expo will be taking place in Toronto at the Chestnut Conference Centre from September 27th to the 28th. Some featured guests are Johnny Young Bosch, Barbara Radecki, Jeff Perazzo, Caitlin Madrick, and some other exciting folks. Along with them, there are going to be some awesome cosplay guests attending, such as Quantum Destiny, Henchman Props, Cosmeco, and Vicky Bunny Angel. I personally may or may not be attending, depending on whether or not I can find someone to drag with me to Canada, but I'm sure you'll hear more about it next week. This has been your anime and convention news. We'll be back with the show in just a moment. Alrighty, guys, I hope you enjoyed those fun convention and anime news and all the other stuff that I spoke about. But at this point, we're going to close out the show. I want to give a huge thanks to Chelsea, C2 Cosplay. And where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/CTWO cosplay.
Ooh. And you can find our podcast, well, this podcast, the podcast of me and my friends at twitter.com/AC podcast and on facebook.com/Anime Cafe Podcast. You can also email us at animecafepodcast@gmail.com. You can also find me on Twitter, twitter.com/Mantuan Addison. I'm not going to spell it because every time I spell it wrong. So you'll just have to figure it out on your own. And it's like that saying is just the worst saying in the world. The Mantuan Antoine taking a Scantron with his fly ass pants on. I regret ever being. I was in a civics class and I was taking an exam, and in the middle of an exam, the boy sitting across from me, I'd never spoken to him in my entire life, just stands up and raps about my name, and I was like, "Why? What? No, stop!" Like, I was so embarrassed, and it is stuck. So Mantuan Addison, I don't know, MANTWONATISON. I think I got it right this time.
That was completely off. That was awful.
Yeah, you're wrong, and you should feel ashamed, and I hate you. You're the worst. Wah, I'm never coming back on your show again. But Thank you so much, Chelsea, for coming on to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. And I'm sure I will have to have you back on sometime. Maybe I'll get Taylor, Chelsea, and you to come on the show
Oh yeah,
sometime.
please.
And
Just
we'll
play
have
League.
Yeah, yeah, see, perfect. We'll do an episode while playing League, and it'll just be a lot of like the F word and the S word. I mean, we can swear that the podcast is marked as explicit, so you can be like fuck, shit, bitch, ass,
Oh,
piss.
thank God.
Yeah. So we can say whatever we want, and it'll just be ridiculous. Even better so if you three all drink and I also drink, and it can just be a drunken episode of the Anime Cafe podcast.
I would just be asleep.
Like Taylor with his weird night terror grunting or whatever that happened earlier on in the show. That was glorious. But I will let you go. Thank you for taking this long hour of time out of your day to come and have fun with us. And thank you for giving us your insight on cosplay and armor and crafts and all of that jibber jabber. Maybe you influenced somebody today to go and do it. You know, like maybe you pushed somebody over the edge. Maybe somebody was thinking about getting into craft making and they just needed that little push over the edge to hear it from someone that's, you know, a little bit more on the entry level side. Because sometimes when you hear it from the professionals, it's just like it seems so unattainable. But to hear it from someone,
it's intimidating.
Yeah, it really is intimidating. But to hear it from somebody like you, I think you may have helped people a lot. So I thank you, and I think they thank you too.
Thank you.
All right, and you can check us out on iTunes. Give us a rating. Check us out on Stitcher. Give us a rating on there too. I think they do ratings. I don't know. Vote us up 5 stars. Give us your reviews. I'll read them on the air when you guys start leaving them. But thank you guys, and we will see you next week. Peace.